Hello, my fellow patriots. This is Alex with Disabled Vets Perspective, and I've got some interesting stuff I want to bring up today. I'll probably get flagged, probably get canceled, whatever, but apparently mandates are legal, according to the DOJ, even though they're not, according to the Nuremberg trials, but nevertheless. Anyway, so now they're saying that, oh, it's absolutely legal for a company to mandate. So apparently the writing of law is no longer required. It's just a statement made by one or two people, and all of a sudden it's a law. Well, originally, constitutionally, we had three branches of government, and you can't just pick something out of your ass and say, okay, that's law, because we have a legislation for that. So somebody has decided to skip that process because, it just takes too much time and everybody's just going to argue, so we'll just call it a law and be done with it. Well, it doesn't work that way, and basically there's a point when you have to stand your ground, and that point is damn close. I would say it's already passed. But this idea that the DOJ can unilaterally decide that something is legal without a process of law taking place, going through the House and getting written up as a bill and then presented to the Senate, and the Senate does their tweaking and modifying to it, and then it goes on to the president's desk for a signature after an approval. Well, that's old, that's all outdated and everything. So now they just say something and it's law. Well, I'm sorry, all that is accomplishing is it's making people lawless. And everybody ends up becoming a criminal for illegal activity that they are doing, not that we're doing. They are unilaterally creating law based on a statement from a person, and then they call it law, and then people like myself have to respectfully decline the said law or mandate. That's what they need to start using, these mandates. Now, the reality is, when you own a corporation, you have certain rights as the owner of that corporation to run rules and regulations within your facility that you have control over. So it's like your own government with your own board of directors and company president, CEO. So technically you have a government within a corporation. The problem is that it's pretty clear that you cannot go against a person's constitutional rights, even if it's a corporation. You can't all of a sudden, as a corporation, say, well, we're not going to hire any more black people because, well, we don't like them. We're not going to allow American Indians to do this part of the job in here because, we don't think they're qualified. That is unconstitutional. It's illegal. So is telling somebody that they have to inflict harm upon themselves. That is grossly illegal. Doesn't work like that. So a person like myself, I am deathly allergic to the flu shot. And it's in my medical records, but apparently that doesn't matter. Even though the material that's in this new prick is very similar, has a lot of the base material that's been used to culture the same. Basically it's the same. So it's a flu shot, and I have an anaphylactic reaction to it. But again, apparently that doesn't matter, because the whole thing behind this mandate is devious, sinister, and frankly disgusting. There is a document out there that I have seen where it describes the census for the United States in the year 2025. Apparently, right now, if you don't include illegals, we have about 319 million people in the country. And in the year 2025, the new census says we will have 69 million people in the U.S. How the hell do you do that? Well, you either do it by war or by chemical attack. And I think they've chosen the latter. So, we are being attacked. We are being exterminated. And they're doing it smartly because they're saying, oh, well, you know, this isn't going to happen immediately. This thing is designed to have a time delay. And in that time delay, they average about 2 to 3 years. Which, guess what? Puts us right in their time frame for 69 million people. And then, at that time, they can blame it on the stars and the moon for all they care. Because it'll be so far separated from this time period with the constant pricks, it'll be long gone from now. It'll be out of the psyche, it'll be out of the memory. The problem is, they're not getting the people to voluntarily step into the slaughter. They're getting a lot of pushback. And if you notice, they're getting more aggressive about the mandates. I just got sent a report this morning by a preacher that talked about the VA requiring certain people at this point to get the prick. Medical staff. That's what they're starting with. But in many of my videos, I've told you that nothing happens with a big grab because that's too obvious. So they take little bitty bites. And once they get you used to something, then they go forward. If they get a lot of resistance, they fall back. And then they regroup and take a few more bites to get back to the point where they were. This is a psychological game, and we are the rabbits. We are the lab animals that are being tested psychologically into what we'll tolerate and what we will not tolerate. So it's a big game, and they just don't hide their intentions. If you look, they've interviewed people in the past that have come flat out and said that their goal is to reduce population, and they want the people to pay them for taking themselves out. So they want taxpayers to pay for their mission to eliminate people. Come on, pup. So this is really bizarre. I think it was Henry Kissinger, actually, who said that it's the most interesting technique that you will scare the people, you will bring in a miracle cure to alleviate the fear of the people, and the people will line up for whatever it is you offer them. And he said, it's like having the sheep walk themselves into the slaughterhouse, and they're willing to pay us to do it. So that was, I think that was back in 92. I got to double check, but anyway, it was Henry Kissinger who actually said that. So, you don't think this is their plan? I'm sorry, then maybe you're just stupid. But we have to resist. Going back to the VA, like I said, I am dependent upon the VA because my disability rating is 100%, and I can't do an 8-hour job. I can't sit for a long time, stand for a long time, lay down for a long time. I have a lot of problems that make me useless in the employment industry. So if the VA decides that they're going to mandate this thing across the board, including for veterans that receive compensation, then they'll say, oh, well, if you don't want to get it, then we don't need to continue to pay you your compensation. Well, that would be that would be basically a sentence to homelessness and elimination of basically humanity at my point. I would be completely and totally screwed. I mean, I might be able to go work a couple hours a day doing something, but I would never be able to make enough money to survive. So it would be essentially a death sentence. You either take it and risk being killed by it, or you don't take it and we take everything away from you and you are facing death. Be homelessness, no access to medical, you know, all the different things that would come along with it would be eliminated in a heartbeat. Just one quick flash and we would be destitute. Now, it's not a sob story. I don't give a shit. I will not take something that is forced upon me, especially when I know it to do me harm. So they can do whatever they want, and if you believe in God, then you will be fine. If you are hardcore in your belief that no matter what happens, you'll be okay. That's the way I believe. You know, raising my kids, trying to do it with a, basically I was doing it with almost nothing because I was fighting the VA for my rating. So I'd get a job, I'd work until my back went out, and then I'd have to lay down for a couple of weeks, and then I'd go look for another job. So during that time, when we were down to our last dollar, all of a sudden a check would come in the mail for something. Whatever, who knows? I mean, it would just, all of a sudden we would get money in the mail. And it would be just in time. So the threats are useless to me because they're never going to get fear out of me. I'm not afraid of them. I'm not afraid of anything they can do to me. So once you have lost fear and they can no longer push that upon you, they lose. Because this whole thing, their number one strength is your fear. So if you don't give that to them, they lose. All of this collapses around them. So lose your fear, stand up to these son of a bitches. Don't fall for this crap. Do whatever it takes and fight the system. Now, like I said, this will probably get demonetized. I'm quite certain of that. Very likely we'll get flagged. You know, maybe lose the channel, whatever. But at some point, no matter what, we have to speak up about this shit. And that's what I'm doing. So let the censor bots roll and let them do their thing. Try to share this out. Get it out, because if you don't, there's no chance. Make sure you hit the thumbs up on the way out the door. At least that'll help get it recognized. Tell your friends about me. Tell them to subscribe to the channel if they want to hear my take on the way things are. And until next time, y'all, stay in the fight.